Yeah, public practice. Nasa public practice si Sir Reggie. So, BOA and BI are accredited si Sir Reggie, okay? And Young Achiever Award. Wow! For PICPA National. Just imagine that, guys. And then, yeah. Nakita nyo naman yung, narinig nyo naman yung boses niya, di ba? Parang mas maganda yung boses ni Sir Reggie kaysa sa akin. Naiinggit ako eh. Buong-buo yung boses eh. Resource speaker kasi itong si Sir Reggie. Ang galing. Okay. So let me just check, guys, if we are running. All right. So as of now, oh my God, we have full pack tayo. We have 100 participants. Grabe. Grabe. Okay, thank you for your warm welcome to us. Okay. So yeah, so that's Sir Reggie. So be comfortable, guys. Mr. Reggie, he knows his what's in the table. Okay? Ibibigay niya sa inyo kung ano yung paano mapapadali ang inyong attack for your taxation. So yeah, so right now, of course, let's proceed on in terms of corporation. So Reggie, what are we going to discuss right now is corporate income taxation, which is if you are a student, okay, lalo na kapag may mga nagtatanong kasi sa atin if incoming students, no, accountancy students, this is best for you to assess kung okay ba ang accountancy, kung okay ba maging CPA. Okay? And then of course sa mga reviewees natin, current reviewees natin, please ask us questions later on at the end of the topic or at the end of the discussion if you have any questions. Okay, we are open to answer that. And then of course, please, we are going to give you snapshots on what's happening inside of CPA Online Review School. Okay, or how we attack things, how we attack for a subject, or how we are going to attack taxation. So I don't know, guys, if you watch the auditing free online session, so it's on our Facebook page then, please watch it. Meron kayong mga matututunan din dyan, syempre, okay, maliban sa kagwapuhan ko, okay? Meron kayong matututunan dyan. Ano ba, tama ba, Sir Reggie? Parang duda ka.
Confirm, sir.
Okay. And then, of course, guys, this free online class taxation, you will get the materials and you can have the 30 items na CPA na multiple choice answer o na multiple choice na questionnaires. Just please sign up dun sa ating page. Okay? Okay, so nagpapa-shoutout si Ayan Baltasar. Hello. Hindi ko lang alam kung babae or lalaki si Ayan, pero looks like babae kasi A-I-A-N. Okay. Thank you so much. So yeah, so guys, corporation. So if we going to define yung corporation, no? So ito yung mga, let us say, ito yung mga, yan, yung mga legal entity. Okay, so Sister Reggie, I think maraming exposure dito, sir. So Reggie, in your own terms, paano mo ba ma-identify ang corporation?
Okay. Hello?
Hello, yes, Sir Reggie.
Okay. Basically, when you say corporation, it's a natural person as well. So, meaning, we have two personality, di ba? Natural at saka the artificial person. So, this is a artificial, based on the definition, artificial being operated by law. So, it means a company that doing business, not standing alone. So, pag maraming owners, so we can treat that as a corporation.
So, yung mga example niyan, ito, nakalagay sa atin, no, may mga partnerships. So, nagulat ako, Sir Reggie, no, nung binabasa ko yung definition ng corporation. Partnership is kasama.
Yeah.
Joint stock corporation, joint accounts, associations, and then, of course, insurance company. And then, may mga exceptions siya dito na wherein general professional partnerships are not considered corporation. And then ito, letter B. So guys, take note of these exceptions, okay? napaka-importante nitong definition na to. Malay natin, sa board exam, ito pa lang ilabas, ano? Hindi natin masabi. So, corporation, again, as mentioned by Sir Reggie, is artificial being. So, there is a certain separate, okay, personality for that. So, kung it's actually may protection yung mga nag-form nito because of that legal and separate personality of a corporation pagdating dun sa mga individual incorporations. Okay, so that's the simplest form of, that's the simplest definition of our corporation, guys. So, it's an artificial being. So, kung corporation, saan mo siya i-register? Usually, kailangan registered siya sa Security Exchange Commission. Okay? So, Sir Reggie, meron bang SEC office dyan sa CD or sa Mindanao?
Merong satellite po.
Satellite office.
Yes.
Ano?
Yeah.
Ayun. So, akala ko kasi dito pa pupunta eh.
Anyway, we're online naman. So, that's the benefit ng online registration.
Okay, yes. So,
kaya ng online review, di ba?
Okay, yes. Nice. So, yun kasi ang challenge before sa SEC.
Yeah.
So, in terms sa classifications pagdating sa corporation, if you want to set up, may mga classification yan. No? So, it's either na domestic corporation, which is yung domestic corporation, ibig sabihin nandito sa Pilipinas, owned by a Filipino, and then we have also majority owned by the Filipino in domestic corporation. And then, of course, we have the resident foreign corporations and then non-resident foreign corporations. So, ito yung mga classifications of corporation. So, it's very important to understand yung classification because, tama Sir Reggie, no, merong different rates for every type of corporations.
Yes.
So, domestic corporation and then resident. I think domestic corporation na yan, meron siyang mga exempt, special, regular. Talagang malawak guys malawak ang corporation or ang corporate income tax in terms of what percentage are you going to use for a certain corporation. So it's really for as a start, it's very challenging to master the rates. But if katulad kayo ni Sir Reggie na, araw-araw ba naman, tax rates na ang nasa harapan nyo, I think this would be very easy for you guys. So as a student, you really don't have an option but to master or let us say, memorize nyo yung mga rates for that specific corporation. Not the, alam mo yun, may mga techniques dyan na kailangan yung maintindihan na ano ba yung usual na tinatanong sa board exam. Sa inyo, Sir Reggie, nung panahon mo nung nag-board exam ka, ano yung mga natatandaan mo sa taxation subject na meron doon?
Sandali lang. More on problems kasi yun siya.
Oh, okay. Problem solving.
Yeah. At saka that time, mix pa yung business law. Di ba?
Ay, oo nga. Oo.
So, yun. Yung law pa lang mahirap na.
Oo, law pala mahirap na, no? Actually, mas maganda nga ang taxation ngayon kasi mas malaki yung chance
focus,
mo. Mas malaki yung chance mo makapasa. Imagine, 70 items ngayon ang taxation. Compared noon na 50 items, no, Sir Reggie? Kasi 100 eh.
Yes.
No? So, yung panahon natin, wag na nating sabihin kung kailan yun.
Kailan yun? Mabang panahon.
Oo, no? Kasi 50, just imagine, no? 50. Kung let us say, hindi mo na-review ang taxation, wala kang pag-asa na pumasa. Okay? Kasi let us say, hindi mo naman mag-perfect yung business law for that. So, you have no choice but to review both business law and taxation. Unlike now, na mas malaki yung probability mo na pumasa for this subject, taxation. Okay, and then sinasabi nila ngayon na may mga, alam mo yon, na more on problem solving ang taxation natin ngayon, na more on parang auditing type. Okay, na sunod-sunod yung question na So let's say one problem is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. So mali ka sa una, mali na yung tax due mo. For sure, ganun yan eh. Ganyan yung itatanong dyan. Magkano ang gross profit, magkano ang allowable deduction, magkano ang tax due, okay, magkano ang taxable income. So I think Sir Reggie prepared something for that para you guys can catch up. So Sir Reggie, let's go. Let's move forward no, in terms of who are required to file income tax, okay, for corporations. So yan, please take away Sir Reggie yung in terms of definition. Ikaw na magbasa niyan.
Sige, for non-individuals.
Yeah, actually it's for non-individual kasi we are talking about corporation. Yeah.
So we have corporations. So that includes partnership. So no matter how created or organized. So maraming types ng partnership but that still form part of the corporation.
Okay.
Then domestic corporations, so receiving income from sources within and outside the Philippines. So I think that's understandable. So regardless of the status of the source of the income.
Okay.
And foreign corporations, so receiving income from within the Philippines only. So that's the coverage for taxation purposes. And as well, we have the states and trusts, so engage in trade or business.
Business. Yeah. Okay, nice. So if you're going to summarize this, guys, any corporation that is doing business in the Philippines are taxable. Okay. And then of course in foreign corporation, because they are doing business in the Philippines, that's why they are receiving income because they have business in the Philippines. So the source of income is within the Philippines. That's why taxable. Okay. Same goes with the estates and trusts. So guys, estates and trusts, they are non-individuals. Okay, but there are trusts kasi that they are engaged in business. Wherein, like mga trust fund. Okay, mga insurance companies. So they have trust funds. May mga trust or meron sila mga investment companies for that. So yun, so may idea doon na they are also engaging in business. That's why it's taxable. They are considered even, of course, non-individual because they are state and trust corporation. Okay, so there are as we mentioned a while ago, may mga classifications yung corporation, which is regular, special, and exempt corporations. Okay, so guys, we are not going to go into the details of these corporations because we are going to discuss that in details dun sa ating online class, of course. Okay, so right now we are just going to the overall view of corporation, yung importante, like who are required to file, ano yung type of type of corporations, and then tingnan na lang natin if there is some sort of ano yung mga taxes for regular corporations. So meron tayong taxes for regular corporations na tinatawag is for GCIT. So guys, remember, that's how, as you can see, we are classifying the discussion in terms of how to simplify it for you guys. Okay, regular corporations, and then as you can see, we have the special corporations na makikita nyo dyan, and then exempt corporations. Okay, exempt corporations, bakit blank? Because non-profit sila. Okay, mostly they are non-profit organization. They are not bound to gain profit in terms of doing business. So let's go to the regular corporations wherein yung GCIT is the gross, okay, tama ba? Gross corporate income tax, okay, which is based on 15% of gross income. And then there are some sort of condition here. So we will not go into the details that. And then of course RCIT is a regular, which is normally, guys, 30% of taxable income. Okay, so guys, taxable income is derived from what? You have the sales, you have the cost of sales, and then difference of that is your gross profit less your allowable deduction, and then that's your taxable net income. Of course, nandiyan pa yung mga accounting difference or ang tawag doon bro, yung deferred income taxes na applicable for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
so meron tayong taxable income na sinasabi, taxable income. By the way, don't worry guys, no, may problem solving si Sir Reggie. Siya ang magdi-discuss ng mga samples natin. So I'm just giving you an overview in terms of the corporation itself. And then MCIT is based on the 2% of your gross income. So meron tayong scope dyan, what are the imposition and what is the tax base of MCIT that you need to determine. So improperly accumulated earning tax naman is the 3%. Ano ba yung improperly accumulated taxable income? Ito yung written earnings mo, tama no, is improperly accumulated na. Mas malaki na yung written earnings mo kesa sa capital. Tama ba, Sir Reggie? Oo, kesa sa capital. So, ibig sabihin kasi guys, yung written earnings mo kasi doon pumapasok lahat ng income mo. So, yung written earnings mo is mas malaki na sa capital, which is supposedly not. Kasi ang idea ng BIR is that dapat yan nagagamit, dapat yan na nai-issue as a dividend.
Dividends.
Yes, as dividend. So bakit hindi ka nag-i-issue ng dividends? Kaya nagkakaroon ng penalty for that. Actually, penalty itong improperly accumulated taxable income for withholding or for not issuing dividends to stockholders or to your shareholders. So that's the idea na, hey, kapag nag-issue ka kasi ng dividends, meron tayong final withholding tax. Okay? Which is, that would depend kung, let's say, domestic ba siya, corporation issuehan mo, kung individual ba, or kung foreign corporation. So, depende na naman, no? And then, of course, we have the scope and computation for that, or sample computation for that. So, that's it. That's for regular corporation, guys. Simple lang, ano? You just have to focus on this 1, 2, 3, 4 corporate income tax for regular corporation. Okay, and then let's go for the special corporations, which is these are certain corporation they have a lower tax rate. So ang galing ano, this is somehow to attract investors. Okay, kaya makikita nyo dyan may mga foreign corporation and then non-resident foreign corporation because they want to attract investors. And then ganun din sa domestic corporations, the government like some kind of business that will help like I say in science, okay, scientific purposes, educational purposes, agricultural purposes, or anything that is let us say that will that would depend on what is the special domestic corporation. So yan, nandito pala, nakalagay pala, no? Educational institution, non-profit hospitals, okay, foreign currency domestic units na company, and then PESA. Okay, so those are kind of special corporations. So, and then of course guys, we have exempt corporations. Okay, the exempt corporations is ito yung mga guys, non-profit. Okay, non-profit organization. Basta non-profit organization, they are considered in general exempt corporation. But I think tama Sir Reggie, there are non-profit organizations na kailangan pa munang kumuha ng certificate from the BIR to be exempt sa corporate income tax.
Okay. Actually, merong revenue regulation.
Okay, perfect.
Naka-state doon sa NRIC or sa tax code natin that you are exempt. There's still a process of registering in the BIR para maging exempt.
Yes,
so,
yeah, perfect. Ayun. So it doesn't. Okay, perfect. Thanks Sir Reggie for that, no? So yeah, that's it for guys. Yun yung overall concept of corporation. We simplified it for you. And then yeah, Sir Reggie, I think you can share your problem solving para makita nila in terms of how we attack the or let us say para mabigyan sila ng sample for our corporation problem solving. So while Sir Reggie is doing that, of course, Guys, no, just imagine you're doing this at the comfort of your house and then of your home, and then you're doing the review, and maya-maya CPA ka na. Okay? So we are doing this for the benefit ni COVID Corporation. Tindi COVID Corporation. Okay, just let me know, Sir Reggie, if you're ready. And yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Ready na, Sir Reggie? Oh, guys,
Yes.
ready? Listen to Sir Reggie in terms of the discussion. Yeah, I would just be on background and then check the sino yung mga pumapasok. Okay, go ahead, Sir Reggie. Take it away.
Okay, so thank you very much, Sir Tristan. No? So once again, good evening na ba? So good evening.
Yes,
So
evening na.
thank you for coming and welcome to CPA Online Review School. So let's move to our problem solving. So guys, in answering a problem, yung technique dyan, first is basahin nyo muna ano yung requirements. Okay? Huwag nyo basahin muna ang problem. Kasi maraming victim dyan, yung tinatanong pala is obvious doon sa makikita lang sa problem. So, yun. So, say, you find ano yung requirements. No? So, in this case, so we will start. So, determine the income tax due if the corporation is domestic, a resident foreign corporation, and an resident foreign corporation. So, bear in mind on that na yun yung requirements as you go along reading the problems. So, let's start. So, let me read the problem. COVID corporation, a corporation, maraming nag-a-admit. Okay, kung makita ang screen. Ayan.
Go ahead lang, Sir Reggie. Ako nang bahala sa mga pumapasok nating participants.
So a corporation engagement business in the Philippines and abroad has the following data for the current year. So first, we have a gross income in the Philippines. So that's 975,000 pesos. And we have expenses in the Philippines, that's 750,000 pesos. We have also gross income in China, that's 770,000 pesos. Expenses in China, 630,000 pesos. And we have also interest on bank deposits. So that's the given information. So let's start solving the first requirement. So the basis for the computation for the tax due. So if the company is a domestic or resident foreign corporation, so the basis is the net income. So meaning mayroon kang deduction na expenses. But for the non-resident foreign corporation, so that's subject kasi to final tax. So walang deduction yan. So that's the main concept. So let's start. So we have, so for domestic corporation, na lang natin. Resident foreign corporation and non-resident foreign corporation. So first, we have gross income in the Philippines. Okay. So yung domestic corporation, so that's subject to tax, so 975,000. Okay. So guys, kung masipag kayong magsulat, you can write the 00, or if you want faster, so you just write letter K, 4,000. And for resident foreign corporation, so we have 975,000. So yung foreign corporation, lahat ng income nila sa Philippines, that's subject to tax. So that's the rule. Okay. So for non-resident, so still 975,000 pesos. Then for expenses, okay, expenses Philippines. So for domestic corporation, so that's 750,000. 750,000. And as I said earlier, no, na yung resident foreign corporation is based on net income. So meron siyang deduction na expenses in the Philippines. So that's 750,000. So again, non-resident not subject to expense since based on gross income. Next is we have gross income from China. Okay. Oh, sorry. Delete. Okay.
Sino ba yan? Si China magdayaw?
Yung COVID kasi ito, sir. Nag-start.
Okay. Go ahead, bro.
Okay, sige. So we have 770,000. Okay. So again, for resident foreign corporation, so hindi siya applicable kasi that's a foreign income. Okay, next is we have expenses from China. So we have 630,000 pesos. Okay. So how about the interest on bank deposits? So since this is subject to final tax, so if you are a domestic corporation or resident foreign corporation, so hindi yan kasali. So for non-resident foreign corporation, so that's form part ng gross income niya. So we'll add that. So interest on bank deposits, which is 25,000. Okay? Yun. So let's have a total for the taxable income. So for domestic corporation, that's 365,000 pesos. For resident foreign, that's 225,000 pesos. And for foreign non-resident foreign corporation, that's 1 million. Okay. So the tax rate, so we have 30%. Okay. For domestic, same with the resident foreign corporation, and final tax for the non-resident. Okay. Then we will get the tax due. So the tax due for domestic is 109,500. Okay. Then for resident foreign, that's 67,500 pesos. And for non-resident foreign, that's 300,000 pesos. So please take note, guys, na ordinary and passive incomes received by non-resident foreign corporations are subject to final withholding tax of 30%. So unless exempt under the law such as interest income derived from FCDS deposits. So we're saying here, generally, income tax due shall pertain to tax on ordinary income or income tax other than final withholding tax on passive income and CGTS or the capital gains tax. So again, we addressed, so may sagot na tayo for letter A, letter B, 67,500, and letter C, 300,000. So yung So yung bantayan nandito, guys, is number one is what type of corporation. So that's the first thing you need to know. Kasi dyan pa lang nagkakaiba na yung treatment at saka yung basis of computation. So that's it for the COVID corporation. So let's move forward to the next problem.
Sir Reggie, teka lang, no? Mag-supplement lang ako. Ang ganda kasi ng problem.
Yeah.
Ang ganda ng problem na binigay mo in terms of, let us say, how to analyze the taxes or the tax income due or tax due for every kind of corporation or classification of corporation. So guys, remember, no? So sa sample ni Sir Reggie, nakita nyo na how he simplified yung understanding in terms of ano yung attack for every kind of corporation. Domestic corporation, resident. Tama sir, no? RFC resident foreign corporation,
yes,
and then non-resident foreign corporation. So guys, if I'm going to analyze this, no, I will focus in terms of let us say interest expense, interest income on bank deposit, kung ano yung applicability niya in terms of every kind of corporation we're in. Sa interest on bank deposit, this is subject to final tax sa domestic corporation and RFC because it is that's why it's no longer included in the computation of taxable income. And then pagdating sa non-resident, okay, lahat ng income, okay, they are subject to 30% tax rate. So unlike sa domestic corporation and then resident foreign corporation, there are benefits pa, no, na kung saan ma-enjoy ng corporation that are doing business in the Philippines compared doon sa businesses outside of the corporation. Okay, so yeah, go ahead, Sir Reggie. So guys, ang ganda ng presentation ni Sir Reginald. So yeah. So again guys, let us say any questions you have here guys before we proceed. Let us say, teka, syempre pupunta muna tayo sa may mga nagpapa-shout out no? Sino po ba dito nagpapa-shout out kanina? Si Pinky. Hello Pinky, thank you so much. And Brian, how are you, Brian? Jacob, hi. So, eto guys, no, si Brian is one of my friends, no? Taxable entity yan. Taxable entity. Of course, ayan, no, we have some question dito, no. Di ba po ba subject na yon sa regular kapag yung interest on, ano to? Bank deposit came from, di ba, sabi ngayon sa Saan yung tanong ngayon? Okay. Nawawala guys. Teka lang ha. Alright. Teka lang guys. No? Tingnan natin yung mga questions nyo. Alright. Uy, teka. Bakit nagkaroon tayo ng... Teka lang guys. Alright. Yun. Ba't ba meron tayong video? Okay, nakikita ko yung mga videos nyo, no? Pa-shoutout kay Galaxy A50S. Wow, ang yaman naman nito. Sino ka? What's your name? And then kay Earlton, working professional. Wow, hi Earl. How are you? Sir, And then of course, kay Marconi Andres. Hi, Marconi, how are you? Yes. Guys, ito si Marconi is a registered nurse. Okay? Pan natin to, frontliner natin. So, Sir Renny, thank you so much for coming in. And of course, yeah, we are here to support your CPA dream. Okay? Cheers to your CPA dream. All right. And then, of course, yeah, so guys, this is our discussion for. Yeah, and then of course kay Ayan Baltasar for under ano to, Philippine School Business Administration for QC. In QC, okay? Wow. Talaga naman, teka. Bago natin teka, baka may nakalimutan ako kwan tayo, no? May magtampo. Okay, may mga first timer ba rito? Mga first timer I think si Pinky Joy Testa is working and planning to review. Oh, by the way, guys, I have good news for you. No, we have. Let me invite you into our CPA Online Review School, which is we have a promo instead of 10,000. So we are only giving it to you guys for 8,500 until the end of April. So, but if you are, I think, just let me know. Let me know na, by the way, until end of I think May 15, until May 15. So we are extending the early bird promo. Okay. So yeah, so si Marconi, hi Marconi. So talagang nakakabilib, no. So nagre-review si Marconi actually under CPA Online Review. Sir Marconi, kailan ka nag-enroll for CPA Online? I think this week lang, ano. Teka, hintayin natin yung ni Sir Marconi. So, yeah. Yes. All right. So, yes, this week lang daw. Okay, thank you so much. So, hopefully, Sir Marconi, may nakuha mo na yung early access mo for, I think, auditing theory yata ang kinuha ni si Sir Marconi, no? And then, ito, may mga tanong talaga rito. Sorry guys, yung iba natatabunan, hindi ko nakikita. Pero ito, matinding tanong. Kung magiging CPA na po ako, magkakagusto nyo ba sa akin si Crush? Nako! Siyempre! Ano pa ba? Kaya nga, yan tayong mga CPA, ano? Huwag kayong unahin nyo ang pagiging CPA kasi kanyan, madali na lang yan. Madali na lang magka-girlfriend, madali na lang magka-boyfriend, okay? Mahigpit ako. Kung magiging CPA ako, mahigpit ako. Hindi ko alam kung mahigpit ka. Mahigpit sa sintron, okay? Shout out daw sa mga kaklase ni Michael. Oy, Michael, hi, how are you, Michael? Kumusta na? Tuloy po ba ang October board exam? You guys, I really don't know, but per the news, September ang start ng classes for school. So, yeah, I think there's a chance na hindi matuloy ang October. Kasi September, anong gagawin for this for 1 month preparation or 2 months? So, depende, no? And then, yeah, okay, pa-shoutout po, Titana student, sir. Thank you po, Lori Cabrera. Okay, all right. So, let's go for our, let us see. Teka lang, ha? So, guys, i-park natin yung mga ibang tanong, no? Kasi hindi ko nakikita, like, ano ba to? Ilang percentage nga po ulit ang income within ng resident foreign? So, wala naman no? Wala naman siyang limitation in terms of income within. So, taxable yan, guys, ano? Unless, kunya na, meron under ka ng meron kang income tax holiday. So, depende yan. So, merong 5 years, 4 years. Okay? Sorry, guys, pagdating sa taxation, kasi matagal ang exposure ko. Kailan pa ba exposure ko for taxation? I think it's more on 2008 or 10 pa yata ang alam kong rule pagdating dyan. So I don't know if updated na. So let's wait for Sir Reggie for that. Okay. Let us see. Okay. Tingnan natin. Corporation. Nasaan na nga ba yung definition ni Sir Reggie? Let's teka lang guys ha. Naghahang ako no. Ang dami kasi natin ngayon eh. So wait lang ha. Wait lang. Ayun. Wait lang natin ha. Naghahang kasi ako guys. Sorry no. Ang dami natin. So don't worry guys, sasagot natin yung mga question niya. I-kuha nyo lang guys, no? Let us say na hindi pa namin nasasagot. I-kuha nyo lang guys, no? I-up nyo lang. I-message nyo lang ulit. Teka lang. Okay. So just send us your questions. No problem about it. Okay. So and then we will continue our discussion. So guys, no? Let me, nasaan na ba tayo? Okay, so mga questions natin, let me check. Ayun, I think si Sir Reggie na yata to. Sir Reggie, is that you? Hi, Sir Reggie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pasensya na.
Okay, Sir Reggie. May mga tanong tayo, no?
Maybe sir, we can proceed muna.
Okay, go ahead, sir. And then, yes, sige, sir.
We
Gagawin
just
ko.
received na lang.
Ang gagawin ko, sir,
Proceed
is...
na lang natin yung...
Okay, perfect. Okay, Sir Reggie, go ahead. Take it away.
Sige. Okay. Ano ba yan?
Let's continue on our problem number 2. So... Sir Reggie, ikaw na muna ulit bahala dyan. So I explained them the logic behind your sample computation. So ang dami nagpapa-shout out.
So let's proceed to the next problem. Okay. Ayan. Okay. Hello, sir? Hello, sir? Hello? Hello? Hello, sir? Hello? Sir? Hello? Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so let's continue guys on the next problem. So your requirements is compute the income tax due and payable. Okay. So let's read the problem. Pandemic Corporation registered with BIR in 2012 has the following data for the year 2018. So we have gross receipts, that's 1,150,000 pesos. We have discounts and allowances, 250,000 pesos. We have salaries of personnel directly involved in rendering service, that's 300,000 pesos. Then we have salaries for salaries of administrative personnel, that's 100,000 pesos. Then we have fees of consultants directly involved in rendering service, that's 50,000 pesos. So we have rental of equipment used in rendering service, that's 70,000 pesos, and rental of office space for use of administrative personnel, 50,000 pesos. Then meron tayong other operating expenses, 420,000 pesos. So again, guys, please bear in mind, with the requirements, still the income tax due. So in solving this problem, we will identify first kung ano yung basis of computation. If it's regular income tax, yung na-discuss kanina, di ba, marami. We have regular income tax, we have MCIT, we have GCIT, yun siya. So, it's clearly here na the registered business was on 2012. So, this is subject to MCIT computation also. So, ano yung basis ng MCIT? So, if you have 4 years in operation, 4 years taxable years from the date of registration, so you are qualified for the minimum corporate income tax. Okay? So, yun yung basis, the 4 years. Then, so steps to solve this. So, yun yung first is you ask if this is subject to MCIT or not. Then, second is, if subject to MCIT, then we will identify each line item if direct cost or not. Since the MCIT is based on the gross income. So when you say gross income, that's gross sales less direct cost. So equals the gross profit or gross income. Then once we computed the gross income or gross profit, then we will compute the taxable income or loss. Then after that, we will compare the MCIT against the regular income tax. So whichever is higher, that's our income tax due and payable. So yun yung steps to solve this problem. So let's start with, first is identifying. So we identified already na subject to MCIT. So next is we will identify saan dito yung mga direct cost. So discounts and allowance, so this is part of your sales, okay? Salaries of personnel directly in rendering service. So when we say direct cost, it's directly to your operation. It contributes directly to your sales. So yun siya. So in this case, salaries of personnel directly involved, this is part of the direct cost. So let's say we will put DC. Okay. Salaries of administrative personnel. So we're saying here administrative. So this is part of operating expenses. So it's not direct cost. Fees of consultants directly involved in rendering service. So that's part of direct cost. And we have rental of equipment used in rendering service. So still direct cost. Okay. Next is rental of office space for use of administrative personnel. So lahat ng administrative, that's not part ng direct cost. And especially other operating expenses. Okay, so that's not direct cost. Okay, so next is we will compute the gross income. So we have gross sale receipts. Okay. Then we have discounts and allowances. So yung mga direct salaries, okay. We have fees, consultant fees, okay. Then rental. So for gross receipts, we have 1,150,000, okay, pesos. And we will deduct the discounts and allowances of 250,000, salaries of 300,000, fees to consultant, that's 50,000 pesos, and rental 70,000 pesos. So direct cost is very crucial in computing the MCIT. So with this, we can compute now the gross income or gross profit, which is 480,000 pesos. Okay. So let's continue. For the expenses, we have salaries, admin salaries. Okay. That's, ano yun? Ito. That's 100,000 pesos. We have operating expense or rental for the admin personnel. So that's, okay, this one, 50,000 pesos. And other operating expenses, okay. So that's 420,000 pesos. So with this, we can compute the taxable income or loss before income tax. Okay. So with this, we have a loss of 90,000 pesos. Okay. So now let's compute the income tax due based on MCIT. So MCIT, that's 2%, okay? 2% of gross income. So at MCIT, we're saying here 480,000 times 2%. So that's 9,600. Okay. Then at regular income tax, corporate income tax, since negative or loss siya, so wala tayo, zero yung income tax. Okay. So let's compare the two. Whichever is higher, yun yung income tax due. Okay. So in this case, the MCIT, which is 9,600. So let's assume, okay, this is additional. Let's assume the company, pandemic company, use the OSD, method of deduction. OSD, that's optional standard deduction. Okay. So the optional standard deduction, so erase natin muna. Okay. Okay. So yung expenses at OSD, which is 40% of the gross income. So 40%, that's 192,000 pesos. So we have taxable income or loss, which is 288,000 pesos. So compare the two. compute natin yung tax at regular corporate income tax, that's 30% of the taxable income. So that's 86,400. Okay? Then MCIT, yung kanina, MCIT, that's 9,600. So compared to higher is your taxable, your income tax due, which is 86,400. Okay. May shortcut dito guys, no? Para mas madali. For the regular income tax, no? Para hindi ka na mag-compute ng 40% ng ganito, mahaba ito, no? Since we need more time during board exam. All you need to do to compute the income tax due at regular RCIT or regular corporate income tax, you just multiply the gross income times 18%. So you can come up with 86,400. Mas mabilis yan. Standard yan, 18%. Okay, paano kinuha? Dyan lang din. No? We can cap. So since 60% ito, yung table, so then 30%. So you just give the shortcut of 18%. Okay. Then that's the technique, no? Shortcut. Gross profit again times 18%. Also, OSD is always higher than MCIT rate. Kasi 18%. Yung MCIT based din doon sa gross income na 2% lang. So pag may problem, similar problem, ang tinatanong is OSD at the same time, OSD at the same time subject to MCIT, no need to compute the MCIT. Alam natin na higher yung corporate income tax. That's 18% pag OSD. So, mabilis yun siya. Okay, so I think yun yung parang highlight dito sa MCIT na versus the regular corporate income tax. Okay. So, we have 2 more problems. Yung last problem, medyo mahaba kasi ito. So let's move on to the next problem. Okay. Okay, so let's continue. So again, yung hinihingi dito is the income tax payable for the first quarter, income tax payable for the second quarter, income tax payable for the third quarter, and income tax annual. Okay? So walang fourth quarter, annual na yung computation natin. Okay. So let's read the problem. Vaccine Corporation has the following information for the taxable year 2018. So first quarter, so we have first quarter, we have per RC or regular corporate income tax, that's 200,000. MCIT, 160,000. Then we have CWT, that's creditable withholding tax, of 40,000. On the second quarter, we have 240,000 for the RCIT and MCIT, that's 500,000. Then 60,000 for the creditable withholding tax. On the third quarter, we have 500,000 RCIT, MCIT is 150,000, and creditable is 80,000 pesos. On the fourth quarter, RCIT 300,000, MCIT 200,000, and creditable 70,000. So we have additional information. MCIT carryover from prior year amounts to 60,000 pesos. And another excess tax credits from prior year amounts to 20,000 pesos. So what we need to do here is we will compare the RCIT and MCIT per quarter. Okay. So with that, so let's say this is quarter 1, quarter 2, or third quarter, then our annual. Okay. So for RCIT, okay. So for quarter 1, let's get the cumulative, okay, of these two. So for the quarter 1, that's 200,000. 160,000 for MCIT. Quarter 2, so cumulative, so for RCI IT, that's 200 plus 240, so that's 440,000. For MCIT, 160 plus 500 in the second quarter, the cumulative is 660,000. Third quarter, so we'll add the 500 from the 440, so that's 940,000. For MCIT, we'll add 150 plus the 660,000, so we'll get 810,000. Then for annual, we will add the 300 for RCIT plus 940, so we have 1,240,000. And for MCIT plus 200,000, so we have 1,010,000. Okay. So with this, we will compare since the income tax is whichever is higher. Okay. So the income tax due. So the higher between for the first quarter, so 200,000 is the higher. So this is our income tax due for first quarter. Second quarter, the higher is MCIT, 660,000. And for third quarter, the higher is regular corporate income tax, that's 940,000. And for the annual, the higher is the regular, which is 1,240,000. So that's the tax due. Since yung hinihingi is the payable, so we need to less the creditable withholding tax. So that's a deduction. So at cumulative as well. So the first quarter, we have 40,000. Second quarter, so that's 40,000 plus 60,000. So we have 100,000. Then third quarter, we'll add 80. So that's 180,000. And for the annual, plus 70,000, so we have 250,000 deduction. So this is cumulative. Since on a quarterly basis, cumulative yung income tax due natin, so cumulative din yung deduction natin. Next deduction is the excess tax credits. Okay? So, given siya additional information, which is 20,000. Excess tax credits. So, this is one time. So, not anymore cumulative. So, we have 20,000. So, since we're computing on a quarterly basis, so we'll deduct that per quarter, 20,000. Yan. Next is the excess of MCIT prior year. So, prior year, which is ito, additional information, 60,000. 60,000. Okay. Now, on the second quarter, please take note of this. The excess MCIT carryover from prior period, so that should be not to exceed 3 consecutive years, no? Yun yung maximum niya, 3 consecutive years. So is allowed only if the regular corporate income tax is higher than MCIT. So in the second quarter, mas malaki kasi yung MCIT, so we will not deduct the excess. On the third, so we'll less the MCIT. And on the fourth, MCIT. Okay? Kasi mas malaki yung regular corporate income tax. So with this, we will add total to compute the income tax payable per quarter. So on the first quarter, we'll add this one from the income tax due up to carryover of MCIT. We have 80,000. Okay. 80,000 pesos. Okay. 80,000. In the second quarter, okay. So yung previous quarter na income tax due, so i-less natin siya, ito. So mayroon ka pang 8,000 na less dito. Okay. To get the income tax payable of 460,000. Okay. Then we'll have a quarterly payments pala. Okay, we will insert this quarterly payments. In the first quarter, we pay 80,000. So we'll deduct that of the second quarter. So the cumulative payments for the third quarter, that's 540,000. Okay. So nakuha natin ito first and second quarter na payments. So we'll get the 140,000 income tax payable. And on the annual, so the cumulative now payments is 680,000. Okay. So we'll get the tax payable of 230,000 pesos. So yun siya. So technique nito is yung bantayan is yung application ng MCIT carryover. Ito na pag more than yung MCIT compare sa RCT for that period, then we will not deduct the prior period MCIT. So what if, okay, so we have additional problem here. What if the MCIT in the fourth quarter, MCIT, so ito siya, is 500,000. Okay, so we'll assume this is 500,000. So how much is the income tax payable? So in this case, yung annual natin will add 300,000, no? The difference of 500,000. So there's an increase in the fourth quarter of 300,000. So yung new total natin for MCIT, okay, so MCIT, this is 1,310,000. 1,310,000. So in this case, the higher is the MCIT, not anymore the regular corporate income tax. So okay. So erase natin. Okay. So our income tax due is based on the MCIT, which is 1,310,000. So we will add we deduct the cumulative, which is 250,000 as is yan. The excess tax credits of 20,000 excess. Then yung excess prior period nyo, sabi ko kanina na be careful on application of the previous year. So in this case, we will not implement or apply since MCIT is higher than regular corporate income tax. And we have total quarterly payments of 680. So our annual income tax payable is 360,000. Okay. Yun.
Alright. Ganda. So sir, parang lumalabas na ang critical dito is understanding of the RCIT and MCIT. Just take note, guys, na ang taxation is always whichever is higher. Okay?
Yes.
Pag halimbawa, nalilito kayo, hindi nyo na alam kung ano ba yung applicable na ninyo, ano susundan nyo, RCIT or MCIT, basta whichever is higher. Okay? And then, CWT is a creditable withholding tax wherein ito yung let us say na meron kang invoice or meron kang sales from your customer and then that certain customer withholds something from you. So let us say 10,000 yung receivable mo sa kanya, but that customer withhold you 1,000 pesos. So hanggang sa naiipon yan, so yun yung sinasabi na CWT. Kaya meron kang first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter, which is deductible yan sa income tax due as presented by Sir Reggie. And then of course, please don't forget in terms of your excess tax credit ng mga prior years kasi may mga instances na sobra yung payment because of may mga advance payment yan na possible mangyari because of the first, second, and third quarter payments. Normally, ang nangyayari is mataas yung mga nababayaran on the quarter and then pag inannualize, mas mababa na yung tax due. So yun yung mga possibility ng excess tax credits. Okay, and then of course meron siyang MCIT carry forward over na tinatawag. Okay, so Sir Reggie, thank you so much for this example. I think overtime tayo, Sir Reggie.
Last problem?
Ilang problems pa tayo? Last problem?
Last problem na lang. Yung
okay.
Comprehensive.
Ay, nako, medyo
So,
siguro
maganda.
ang gawin natin ganito, Sir Reggie, I suggest na magkaroon tayo ng second session para meron tayong drill for them,
okay.
'di ba? Kasi overtime na, syempre we don't want to take much of the time of our students and then of course guys, Thank you so much for attending. But of course, before you go away, let us invite you into our online CPA Online Review School. So guys, we have a promo right now wherein we are just giving it away for 8,500 until May 15. And then yeah, supposedly it should be 10,000. So after that, we will go into 10,000 rate na tayo, regular rate na tayo for that. So guys, you have today, this moment, yung ating what is this, what's happening in the Philippines or to Metro Manila is we should maximize our time, guys. Okay, you as aspiring CPA, you should maximize the time. So that's why we are giving you this opportunity to attend CPA Online Review School para ma-assess nyo na it will really help you. It will be very beneficial to you to achieve your CPA dream. And then by the way, guys, we are having a promo right now just for you guys that if you are really interested, yeah, we are allowing 2,500 as down payment, and then later on until May 15, complete the payment, and then you will have early access. Bibigyan pa namin kayo ng early access either sa auditing prob or auditing theory. So I think that's not a bad offer for you guys, no, to achieve your CPA dream. So guys, no, we will send again, we will post again link to our Facebook page. So please don't just please our page and then share our page. Okay, share the FB Live for taxation or auditing for, so na kung kanino nyo alam na makakatulong. Okay, so we will have a part 2, guys. Don't worry. Saturday again. Okay? Sa Saturday tayo ulit, the same time. And then by the way, guys, ito pa, okay? Meron tayong MAS this week. Okay? So please register din tayo doon for that sa MAS. So we will support you on that. So yeah, so thank you guys. So Sir Reggie, any last words for them?
Sayang. Okay, see you next session. Okay? Maganda yung last problem. This is very comprehensive. May mga quiz, questions, and mga shortcuts. Yeah, okay. Sa last problem, comprehensive. Okay. So see you again. So thank you for coming.
Okay.
God bless you all.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much. God bless everyone. So don't worry about the questions. We will collate it and then we will answer that in our next session. Okay? Thank you so much. Goodbye and God bless. Bye-bye.